Hey lovelies, thanks for stopping by my channel to join me on this declutter journey today. If you saw my recent one in, one out video, I was talking about how I've really been trying to pare down and keep my collection somewhat pared down compared to what it has been at times. This is definitely not a pared down collection by any means, but I'm trying to keep it around where it is. I feel like in the last couple years, I've done quite a few different decluttering videos here on my channel, and I feel like the one category, if you will, that I really hadn't done yet was face palettes. A big part of that is honestly because I forget about my face palettes a lot. It's just not something that I reach for a lot, which means it's something that I should get rid of a decent chunk of and not purchase anymore. That makes sense, right? So we'll see how I do here today. But if we haven't met before, my name is Kelly and I'm a professional hair and makeup artist. And here on my channel, I strive to keep beauty real. Real honest, real relatable, and real fun. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, don't forget to click subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. So let's go ahead and dive into this. Now, I believe that all of my other declutters I've done sort of like overhead style, but I really don't have that many palettes, so I thought I could just sit here, show each of them to you, and it wouldn't be that big of a deal. So that's what we're gonna actually do. Otherwise, it's like, yeah, I literally don't have enough room in my vanity. Boy, in my palette declutter videos, I don't even know if I had enough room on my entire floor in here. At any rate, we're gonna get into this. So, like I said, I just don't utilize face palettes that much. I think it's just because I always sort of have like a vision of exactly what I'm wanting. And, you know, in a palette, you just get what the brand has put in it for you. So I always find that maybe if it's a palette that has like 2 blushes and a highlight, or a blush highlight bronzer, there's always one of the items in there that just isn't going to work. So I just find that it's not something that I reach for all that much. And so I just really need to A, not buy face palettes anymore, and B, unless it's something that I really truly feel like, yes, I will use every single item in here, and B, just use what I have, remember what I have, and also get rid of some of what's here so someone else could possibly enjoy it in my life. Okay, so for the sake of getting this video started, I wanted to say what I'm considering a face palette really is anything that has more than one product in it. So that could be like a trio of highlighters, that could be a blush and highlighter duo, all of those things. So, you know, it's just something that has multiples in it is what I'm considering a palette, right? So we should just dive right in. Oh my gosh. I feel like in my last few declutter videos, I've put out a goal of like how much I'm hoping to declutter. And I'm just looking here and I'm like, I know the goal that I want to say, but I'm also looking and being like, do I really have it in my heart to do that here? I don't know. Okay. So I'm going to say, let's start off with 25%. My first goal was like 30%, but I just don't know. So let's start off with 25%. We'll see how we do. Okay. So what I want to go through first, and I think I actually featured these in when I was doing my like blush declutter, but I really need to talk about these because they have a blush and a highlighter in them, and that is the Wayne Goss Luxury Veil palettes. Or I'm sorry, not the Luxury Veil, the Weightless Veil blush palettes. Here's the thing about these. I kind of wish that, I understand why it's a duo, right? But I almost just kind of wish that they were like singles. I really kind of wish that they were singles, or what I actually maybe wish is that you could like take them out and put other ones in. That's probably what I would really enjoy, just because I find, you know, a big part of why I don't reach for a lot of these is obviously this is all powder products. Do I have any cream palettes? One of these sort of has a cream in it, but I don't think I have any like cream palettes. I should go through, I don't think I have that anywhere in my collection. Anyway, I'm getting derailed here, but I really love cream products. I use cream products at least 50% of the time, and especially when it comes to highlighters, if I am gonna wear a highlighter, I'm gonna use a cream highlighter. Most of the time when I'm working on clients, if I'm going to use a highlighter, I love to use a cream highlighter unless it's on someone that has really oily skin. Like that's just, I just feel like it just looks the most natural, the most beautiful. It's just my vibe. So now I feel like I'm just not utilizing these as much. I have all of them. I think I have all of them. Okay, so we're gonna run through these. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna try to get rid of one of these. I don't have a vision here, but I am going to go through these. So this one, let's just start off with this one. I know I'm not getting rid of this one. This is Vivid Azalea. This one is so beautiful. I think that, you know, you look at it and you're like, who's gonna wear that? But this blush, this is so beautiful on literally every single person that I've ever seen wear it. The fairest of the fair, the deepest of the deep. I think it's so beautiful. I love the highlight as well. I just really enjoy this one. I know that these have been around for a long time and I need to just use them more. I need to just use them more. What I probably should just do is just stop buying makeup so that I use what I have, right? This is the issue that most of us here in the YouTube beauty space have, right? Okay, right, so the next one here is the Coral Rose palette. This one is obviously more of like a peachy pink. This is probably the least unique in my collection, in all honesty. The highlight, you know what, I should just swatch these. Let's see here. I feel like these blushes, you know, like sometimes things just don't, they just don't show up as beautifully until you actually put them on the skin. I think that's definitely a thing here. I mean, you can see there, it's literally just kind of like a beautiful, like peachy pink with a champagne-y highlight. So out of any of them, I feel like this is maybe like the most sort of like basic one. I'm gonna set this one to the side because I do want to compare to the two newest ones that Wayne did. We're not doing so well here. Then this one actually, this might have been, was this one of the last ones that I got, or did I get it in a, maybe in a mystery bag? But looking at it, this is the one that I was like, I don't know that I would really use this one all that much, but I do really love it. This one is Blush Peony, and I think that there's something about this pink. See, here's the thing. I literally forgot about this for a while. I was like, oh, I don't have like a true like pink in my collection. Yes, I do. It's right in here. But you know, when it looks like this, you just don't see it. And I think that both the highlight and the blush in here are beautiful. The highlight is actually more duochromatic, which I think is, you know, kind of rare in the luxury world. So that's the closest to my pinky here. So it's a very, you know, subtle, but it is a duochrome. And I actually really like putting that on first and then putting the blush over the top. And for me to wear a duochrome, see, the thing is, like, most of the duochrome highlighters, I feel like out there in the beauty sphere, if it has a duochrome, I feel like a lot of times it's more glittery. It has a little bit more like high foil, which I think just enhances texture more. So it's not something that I tend to wear. So this one I'm definitely keeping because I think it is something that is I'm more likely to reach for in my collection when it comes to that sort of vibe. Okay. So this next one is Bright Poppy. So this one is the deepest in the set. And obviously I will never be wearing this highlighter as a highlight, but I can definitely wear it as an eyeshadow, and the blush is really beautiful. I should probably pull this one out. I know I've already done my summer Shop My Stash, which is probably up on my channel at this point, my end of summer Shop My Stash. I did one earlier in the summer and then I was like, oh my gosh, I have so many yummy end of summer shades that I'm kind of forgetting in my drawers, so I did a quick little Shop My Stash. Again, it was another thing that was inspired by a video that I was doing. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do that right after this video. So I did it. So it's probably up on my channel right now. I'll make sure to have it linked down below. But this one, maybe I should just throw in here. I'm looking over here at my tower and it's already pretty full, but maybe I should pull this one in. Let me go ahead and give a little swatch here. Ooh, yeah, okay. It was like, whoa, hello pigmentation. And then this would just be like a beautiful, quick and easy eyeshadow. Oh, can you even see that? There you go. Maybe if I keep it out of the like light reflection. These are really so pretty. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and pop this one up, and in here, the thing is like, I know that I'm never, I mean, am I ever, I need to really try out this blush to see if it's worth keeping in my collection, and maybe look elsewhere in my collection to see if I have something similar that I like just as well, because I feel like, I mean, this, I will never think, gosh, I need a coppery eyeshadow. Let me pull out that Wayne Goss palette. Like that's probably not what I'm gonna do, right? So I have to decide if that blush is worth keeping this palette. All right, I need makeup wipes. I wasn't anticipating doing so much swatching, but you know, you just get talking and then you're like, ooh, I wanna touch it and I wanna show you all what I'm thinking. So makeup wipes are definitely needed. Okay, the last two palettes here are the two newest ones to the collection. We have Sweet Wildflower, and I'm gonna actually open these up and show them next to each other. We have Sweet Wildflower and we have Desert Blossom. Ugh, I fully intended to like maybe get rid of one of these, but see, here is why I wish I could like pop these pans out, because I really like the blush in this one. I think it's just this really yummy, almost like you know, the Maiden's Blush from RMS. Like if it was matte, I feel like it's sort of like that shade. But I love the highlighter in this one. So I would like to like put these two together. And right now I'm just too dark to wear probably either of these. I mean, this highlighter is like, it's so good. I mean, look at, can you even see that? It's like the most beautiful rose gold ever. Ugh, like the softest rose gold. And then the one in the other palette is, you know, more, you know what I'm going to do? I want to take out this one here. This, which one was this? Coral Rose. I'm going to swatch this highlighter. See, that one's like even more blinding. Okay. I feel like out of all of these, I feel like this one, the Coral Rose, is definitely the one that I could potentially get rid of. Which is surprising to me because these two lighter ones, I'm like, oh, do I really need those? But this I just feel like is a blush that I probably have a couple times over in my collection. Okay, I'm gonna set this one to the side into the maybes. She's graduated from the I don't know, we'll see into the maybe. That's like one notch up. Yes, I'm ridiculous. Okay, we're trying here, we're trying. Okay, so I have put Bright Poppy, the darkest one, into my Shop My Stash. We'll see how I feel about it at the end of the season. Stay tuned. If I do decide to, you know, get rid of it or something like that, I'm sure I will like put it in an update video, maybe even like a favorites and fails video at the end of the video. But for sure, right now, Coral Rose is on the chopping block. I never would have thought that. It's still kind of killing me to be like, oh, but I had them all. But why do I need them all? See, okay, for those of you that aren't content creators, there's this thing where you're like, but maybe I should keep it for swatch comparisons. But I literally cannot remember a time where someone is like, hey, can you swatch that blush for me? Or can you swatch that Wayne Goss blush next to that other thing? And it's like, then it doesn't need to stay in my collection. And maybe someone in my life would enjoy it. Maybe I'll pop it up in a Mercari. I keep saying that, and I've literally never put anything on Mercari yet. It all just like sits in the corner of my room. I need to do that. Maybe like the next time I have a good chunk of time off, maybe I will like finally do that. At any rate, there's this content creator mentality. I need to get away from that because that is part of why I keep things. I really try not to be that way, but it is part of why I keep things. So let's move on. All right, now we've gotten some difficult choices kind of out of the way. I'm gonna go ahead and do an easy one. This Flower Beauty Full Face Palette, I am going to pass along. The thing is, I remember when I used this that it was just like, okay. And I feel like, I don't know if it's that it's a little bit rosy for my skin. I'm not sure. The eyeshadows were just okay. It's just kind of like okay. The whole thing is just sort of okay. And with a makeup collection the size that I have, I just can't do okay. And this was a decent price. I really do like a lot of Flower Beauty. I enjoy a lot of what I've had from the brand. You all know this, but this is just one that is just like so for me, and I can definitely pass it along to someone. So that is one that is going to go. So we'll put that one in the pass pile. Right away, I'm also going to put this iconic London Blaze Chaser Face Palette in. So again, like I don't even know if I've actually used this. I probably swatched it. This was probably from like a BoxyCharm. It's not really something I need. I can definitely pass it along to someone. I actually have a friend who had requested some makeup for her daughter, so I might just give this to her. Another one that I got in a box, I believe this might have been Trend Beauty actually, and I've talked about this. I actually love this. I love this palette. This is the OPV Beauty London Born to Shine palette. The thing is I just don't reach for it. Like I just don't reach for it. It's beautiful. You've got some shimmery, almost like metallic blushes in here. Now, I do believe that OPV is a Black-owned beauty brand, and so I think that, you know, with that in mind, a lot of these colors in here are fairly pigmented so that they have beautiful saturation to be able to show up in deeper skin tones, which is great. Right there, you're not really seeing a lot of it, but it is pretty bright. Why do I feel like maybe I need to like dip this down a little bit? There we go. Okay, so you can kind of see like that's very high sheen. In a powder blush, I'm probably just not going to wear something so metallic, and I just haven't reached for it. And these are really pretty. It's just not something that I reach for. So that's another one that I'm just going to set to the side. Also, because of the sheer size of it, again, I talked about this a lot in my declutters, is if I have something that's really deep, it doesn't fit in any of my drawers, and then it's sort of like, if anything, it ends up flat in a drawer, and I just don't use it. I just don't use it. Oh, I'm realizing another cheek palette that I have. I'm gonna have to grab that one out in a second. But I did also see here, I don't know if this is technically a palette, but this is the Wayne Goss bronzer, and you know, it says it's the Radiance Boosting Face Palette, so I'm gonna say yes, because you have, by the way, I got the Satin Bronze shade, and here you have a slightly more radiant and a matte bronzer. I really like this formula. Actually, I haven't used this one in a while. As my color is sort of fading from the summer, I'll have to pull this one out because I did really like this formula. So again, it's just one that I need to pull out. I do really wish, like a lot of these luxury brands where like all of their packaging is like the same and you're like, I don't even know what I'm grabbing for. I wish that Wayne had done some difference in his packages, because like the eyeshadow palettes and all of the face palettes are all the same. Luckily I have them all in like kind of different drawers, but they just sort of get lost in my mind. So, okay, I'm gonna go grab that other face palette or two and I'll set it out here with all of the other mess. Okay, here we go. This is a hard one. This is the Makeup Geek and Kathleen Lights collab. This was a highlighter palette that they did. Wow, it doesn't even have a sticker on the back. That sort of surprises me. I don't think it did at any point in time. But anyway, Marlena and Kathleen did this collab quite a while ago. I love this formula. When I was really in my like highlight heyday, I loved wearing this formula. If you ever used the like Makeup Geek foiled shadows, to me, these really reminded me of that. You have a gold shade, a pink shade, and then something that's more in like a bronzy shade. Again, I'm just not wearing a lot of powder highlighters. Here you can see here, I mean, these are just gorgeous. Like, they're really beautiful. They are really high sheen. They're a little less thick than the eyeshadows were, but they're pretty. It's just, I don't reach for it. I loved it. I got it because I love Makeup Geek. I loved Kathleen. I mean, not that I am anti-Kathleen now. I just don't connect with her much anymore. Like, not on like a personal level. It's not like I like had her phone number or anything. I just mean like, I don't really watch a lot of her content anymore. There just isn't as deep of a parasocial relationship there anymore. Wow, I'm starting to get rambly. But anyway, I think I can get rid of this one at this point. I honestly cannot remember the last time I used this. And the thought of like pulling out 3 highlighters, 3 powder highlighters, like whether it's for travel or for use, it just seems silly. It just seems silly to me anymore. So maybe there's somebody who is a super fan of highlighter, or maybe they'd wear all these shades as eyeshadow or something like that. I think that somebody could get some use out of this. So I'm just gonna get rid of this one. That actually feels good. That I feel empowered because I have had an emotional attachment to that one for a while. It's survived packing and moving. And, you know, I peek at it and I'm like, oh, maybe I should wear that. And then I just don't. So I'm just glad. Okay. So, wow, we are just going for it here. Now, this one was in my Shop My Stash for this past season. This is the ATHR Beauty Crystal Charged Cheek Palette in Ruby. And actually, ATHR Beauty closed. If they didn't close already, they are closing. So this is obviously more in the pinks. I do also have the ATHR Beauty palette in Amber. So here's the thing about these. This one is something that I just don't see myself wearing as much. This one, of course, is right up my alley. The other thing is like this highlighter. I mean, I guess it's pretty. It's just, it just looks more odd in the pan. That's actually kind of pretty, but I think it's a little dark for my skin. You can't even see it in my hand, which means it's definitely too dark to be a highlighter on my skin. So this one is gonna get passed along. I think I used it once while it was in my Shop My Stash. There's just something about this. It's not bad, but it's not exceptional. And when it comes to especially matte blushes, a matte blush formula in my collection has to be exceptional because I just don't wear them that often. It needs to be unique enough. It needs to be super refined and elegant formula. And that just isn't it for me. Honestly, with these palettes, a lot of what got me in the beginning was just the packaging. It's so cute. Like, I really liked it. I should probably get rid of this one as well. I don't know. I'm going to save this one for this upcoming season. Like going into fall, I could actually see like this being a good transitional palette from summer into fall. We'll see if I use it. The thing is, I'm never going to use this highlighter. I am never going to use this yellow gold highlighter. You know what? I'm just going to get rid of it. I'm going to get rid of it. I lusted after this one for a while. Ugh, okay, I'm just gonna get rid of it. You know, it's like I haven't been using it. It's cute, but I don't know. There's not a shade here that I'm like, yes, I need that in my life. I probably have something very similar, and that very like yellow gold highlight is just not my jam. So I'm just gonna get rid of them both. Okay, here we go. Honestly, I don't know what's going on right now. Like, can I just say that? I really thought I was gonna be struggling to get through this, and I was probably gonna end up like getting rid of like 2 palettes, but I feel like I'm doing pretty good so far. Okay, so let's grab something that I know that I'm not gonna get rid of, but honestly, I'm glad that I'm doing this video because I forgot about it. And this is the Pat McGrath Divine Blush and Glow Trio in Galactic Sun. I actually got this on Mega Deal. Was it from Sephora or was it on the Pat McGrath site? Can't remember, but forgot about it. Totally forgot about it. Again, I think I should save this and put this in my Shop My Stash for like transitional time into the fall. This has Divine Rose and Desert Orchid, and then the highlight is Golden Nectar. So I need to remember to use this one. So, all right, this one. So this is technically a face palette, but you could use it as an eyeshadow palette. This is the Becca Afterglow palette, and this has 6 shades from the Becca lineup. You have the Shimmering Skin Perfector in Moonstone, Rose Gold, and Topaz, and then you have the Mineral Blush in Wild Honey and Flower Child. So I'm gonna pop this up here. And you know what? Like, there's just something so easy peasy and effortless about this. Like, the Shimmering Skin Perfectors, of course, are just beautiful. The blushes in here are lovely. Like, I think this would actually be kind of perfect for like a super minimal weekend away. This is very much like you could do everyday shades on your eyes, on your face. I'm gonna keep this. I should probably like clean it off. She's a bit dusty. I probably should have like done that so that you all think I have my ish together. But for some reason, I just don't take a lot of time in my personal collection to clean my palettes, like to wipe them out. Obviously, between clients, if I'm using something, I have to wipe it, sanitize it, do all the things. But if it's just me, I just tend to like chuck it back in the drawer and forget about it until I use it 6 months later again. Okay, so we're gonna keep this one on hand. There's just something about it. It's not like it takes up that much space in my collection, and I do feel like there is a time and a place for it. Another one that's been in my collection that I am going to get rid of is the Too Faced Sweet Peach Glow palette. So this has a highlight, a blush, and a bronzer. I just feel like the bronzer, it would have to be the dead of winter to really show up on me much, and it is a little bit on like the peachy side, like no pun intended, but it does have a bit of more of a peachy hue. The blush, again, is just like nice. It is actually, for a powder blush, it is nice. This highlighter, again, it's nice-ish. It's just not something that I need, and I just haven't used it. This is just something that I've had for so long. I think I got this when the Too Faced Sweet Peach eyeshadow palette came out. Did this one come out with the original Sweet Peach? I think so. I just don't use it, and I don't need it. And there's something about this formula that you need a pretty toothy brush to be able to pick it up. It swatches great. Like, if you use your fingers, it's great, but I do find that I need to use a really toothy, dense brush to be able to like pick it up. So I don't need to like fuss with all of that, and it's nothing that's like unique to my collection. And again, I don't know that there's ever a time that I would be like, you know what I need is just this. I just need these 3 things in my life, and that's all I need to grab. I'm always going to be like, oh, I don't want to wear that highlighter. That bronzer's feeling a little funny today. So it's just not necessary. So it's going to go. All right, another trio, but this is a blush and 2 highlights. This is the Natasha Denona My Dream palette. This one, I don't know, this cheek trio. First of all, the cream blush to me is not a cream blush. It's not like, no, it's definitely not. But I did like the combination of the little like glow cream base, which is still creamy, and the highlight. So I need to pull this one out more, and I think going into fall, I'll probably do that. I actually almost pulled this out to use today, but I had another product that I was trying to use to see if I wanted to keep. So she did not get used today, but she will get used in the future. And since I bought her at full price, I'm pretty sure we need to get some use out of this one. So this one, I think Natasha and Pat need to like cozy up inside my Shop My Stash this next season. In the meantime, maybe I'll just really try to do a like, I need to pull that out. But I'm still in summer vibes, y'all, and neither of those palettes is summer vibes to me. Okay, now, these ones. These are from Haus Laboratories before the rebrand, right? So this is a bronzing and highlighter duo and a blush and highlighter duo. And let me tell you, I'm not getting rid of either of them because they are so, so lovely. I don't know if these are still available on Amazon. I will have them linked down below. I will put my affiliate links down below because let me tell you, if either of these is available, I definitely recommend it. This is the duo in Desert and Dawn. I did also get a duo that was slightly darker. It was a little too dark for me at the time. I could probably wear it right now, but you know, y'all, we're in the middle of summer. But this is just so nice. Now, I will say, the Velvet Sculpt, the Power Sculpt Velvet Bronzer from Haus Labs, so like the new brand, that is a more refined formula than this one. It's probably also at least twice the price. So keep that in mind. But then this, a big part of why I'm keeping this is this duo is just so beautiful. So this duo is Flirt and Fling, and look how yummy this is. I think I actually said when I got the Wayne Goss collection, the two newest ones, I did say that like this is sort of like a darker version of that. I mean, oh, this blush is so silky. The highlighter has a lot of kick up, but it's still a very beautiful, I mean, gosh, that's enough highlighter. That's like body highlight right there. But this, honestly, this feels very velvety, very silky smooth. Wow, this is going to be a little bit of an awkward, can you even see that? I don't even know if you can see that, but it's the ones that are right there. So it's just a very yummy, warm, toasty, bronzy peach. I'm gonna go with that, a bronzy peach, and I really love this. So I'm keeping both of these. You know what? I actually have to say, I prefer the formula of the blush in this opposed to the ones in the new brand. Like, this is nice. It's just a little bit more dry. It's just a little bit more dry. These are, you know, they're both really buildable and beautiful. Obviously the color's totally different, but like, I just prefer the formula in here. So I'm keeping these if they are. Now, a duo that I know is not available is this little Rose Glow Cheek Duo from the Sigma Beauty. This was from like the Rendezvous collection a couple holidays ago. And this together, like if you put down this highlight first and then you put down this blush, you get Pillow Talk vibes from Charlotte Tilbury. This again is a very nice formula. I think that Sigma has some newer face products out. Of course, I've tried the cream blushes and I actually really, really like those. Let me tell you, I think people are sleeping on Sigma Beauty. I think that sometimes their prices can be a little too high, so you should catch them on a sale, but I do think that they have some nice products. This is just such a, I don't have to think about it. It sort of goes with whatever. If I know that I need to put on some blush, but I either don't know what I'm gonna wear on my eyes, or I just don't wanna think about what's gonna coordinate with it, I think that this is one that I would always grab. So I'm gonna keep that. And of course, the packaging, hello. All right, a face palette that I'm gonna get rid of. This was when Becca was at its height, and I just basically bought all the Becca things. This is the collab with Chrissy Teigen. This is pretty. It's just like, it's just pretty. And it's so big, and it's like, again, so much of this is real estate for highlighters, and I just don't do powder highlighters all that much. And neither of these is something that's so unique in my collection that I need to have it still. I have all of my large Becca compacts still. I enjoy those, but this is just, it's a lot. It's a lot for like one little blush and one little bronzer. And isn't it so weird? It's like, I could see maybe like the bronzer being a bigger pan and the highlighter, I don't even know, whatever they decided. I've had this one for a really long time, and I hope I got it on sale. That's all I have to say. Oh, and by the way, I should mention that this shade Rose Gold I have in the big pan. So the Beach Nectar shade here is something that I don't have, but I think it's definitely not unique to my collection. I think that I actually have it. I probably just swatched something very similar. So it's just not a need for me anymore. I know that this is pretty old too. So this is what I'm going to get rid of. I keep opening it and being like, you should use this. And then I don't use it. So it's time to go. All right, the Cheek Leaders collection from Benefit. And this, by the way, is the Pink Squad one. So I think this might be the second one, because I know there's one that has cookie in it, and that's the one that like everybody lost their mind over. I actually do have a small cookie, but this one has, let's see, what do we have in here? We have Hula, Dallas, both of which I love. We have the California blush, which I like, but I feel like mine in here has hard pan now. And then we have the Tickle highlighter, which is almost like a duochromatic pink and gold. And then we have the Dandelion blush. And that is a shade for me. Dandelion is something that I can really only use when I'm at my palest. So here is that Tickle shade, by the way. So it's kind of fun. Like, I actually haven't worn this in a while. The thing that I am so confused about is like, I feel like Tickle is so intense and deep compared to these blushes. I mean, California, if you really build it up, you can get quite a bit of color out of it, but Dandelion. I could put this entire pan on my face and it would still be too light, I think, to pair with Tickle. So it's kind of interesting. I do really love the Dallas blush bronzer. Did that one go away? I hope not, but I can't remember. And then of course Hoola is really nice. Here's the thing. I had another one of these and I think it actually, I don't think it had the brush here, so I think it was actually 6 pans. At one point I depotted it semi-successfully and I put it in a small magnetic palette. I think I kept a few shades and put them in a magnetic palette. And oh, maybe it was like minis because I think that they were smaller than this. At any rate, doing that didn't make me use it any much more than keeping it in the palette. So I just really need to use this. I mean, Lord knows I'm never going to travel with this. Like, what the heck? I don't even take books that are this big to travel with because I have a Kindle. But it's like, you know, like this is a lot of real estate and weight to put in luggage. So I would never travel with it, but I need to pull it out more. So once I get a little bit lighter in my shade level, I'll have to pull this one out, but we're going to keep it for now. Another one that I am going to keep and use when I am a little bit lighter is the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow. I've literally tried to film that twice and keep flubbing it up, so we're just going to keep that flub in. All right, so, you know, got a nice little contour, a nice little highlight. It's pretty. I have it. I spent my money on it, so I'm going to use it. What can I say? I do like the sculpt. I do like the sculpting powder, but it really is for when I am a little bit lighter. So keeping that one as well. You know, sometimes some of these I need to ramble on about and some of them we can just like bang out, and that is one of those. This one, I actually had this in my Shop My Stash for this last season, for in the summer, and this is one that came in the La Belle Carousel collection from Too Faced. I think I talked about how this was the first time I used a ton of Ulta points. I bought the entire big, huge Too Faced holiday collection thing, and this is all I have left from it, I am pretty sure. And I like both of these. I actually did really enjoy using both of these this season. This is Sun Bunny Dark and Luminous Peach. I wonder if you can still get the Sun Bunny bronzer. I'm not sure. I do really like both of these. They are quite glowy, and now that I've used a makeup wipe on my hand, I feel like I am very glowy, but it's just a nice glowy bronze and a glowy peach blush. Again, I think I could like travel with these in the summertime if I just want something pretty minimal. I've just enjoyed having this around, and it's pretty slim again, and so it doesn't take up a lot of room in my collection. So I'm going to keep it until I'm just like, yeah, this has served its purpose. All right, this little set, I think I picked this up when the Balm does their like 50% off sale. And I really, gosh darn it, I need to pull this out. I have so many things out already. I need to pull this out this week, but this has it's the Manizer sisters. So it has Mary Lou Manizer, Cindy Lou Manizer, and Betty Lou Manizer. So I have told this story on my channel before, but Mary Lou Manizer was one of my very first Sephora purchases. I went in and I was looking to get I don't think I was using concealer at all at that point, and I was looking for something for my under eyes. And so, was it someone at Sephora had recommended the Boing, like, it's sort of like a yellowy concealer at the time. I don't think they actually make it anymore. So it was like a cream concealer type product, like almost like under eye corrector. I got that, and then I also touched Mary Lou Manizer, and it was love at first sight. So I bought it. I still actually have that Mary Lou Manizer in the big form. Here are the three sisters. It's like a little Neapolitan vibe. So you have Mary, Cindy Lou, and then Betty Lou. It's not a need, is it? Like, it's just so cute and compact, but it's like, when am I going to use these? Like, I don't think that the formula is very refined on the two other sisters. Like, Cindy is a little dusty. Betty is pretty, but darker for my skin tone. And I just have this one that is like kind of similar, and I think I actually prefer that one more. And I have the big Mary. I have Mama Mary, I don't need Baby Mary, so somebody else will get some enjoyment out of this, I'm sure, so I will pass this one along. Holy smokes, I am on fire. I am enjoying this, yes. Okay, so we have two products from Alamar Cosmetics. Let's see, this one is from the original formulation. Is this one as well? No, I think that this is the new formulation. So they went into this like hydrating formulation for some of their complexion products. So this is the first one I got. I do believe I got this in a BoxyCharm. I love these blushes. I really do. I've been tempted to get the new formula because I think that they are more hydrating, they say, but they're also like more pigment, more shimmer, I don't want to say shimmer, more glow, but why would I do that? I have this one. So this is the Fair Light Trio. I believe that there is a fair, a medium, and a deep. So this is really pretty, and it's pigmented enough that I can build it up when I'm like at my lightest into like medium. I probably could even use like this darkest shade, and I like them. They are, you know, again, for a powder, they have a bit of more of a silky feel. They just feel good on the skin, and I think it's a pretty nice formula. I have not actually heard much from Alamar Cosmetics recently. They're still around, right? I think so. I think I saw something with Gabby. My gosh, I hope so. Anyway, we have the Hydrating Complexion Trio in the bronzers, and this actually has a highlight and then the 2 bronzers. I don't know if I've ever actually used this highlight powder. I should pull that out. This actually would probably work this time of year. You know what? I am gonna pull this out and put it amongst my other bronzing products in here. Because why not? I think I've got some room. So which one did I get here? This is, oh, it doesn't say. It doesn't say if it's like, oh yes, it says it's the medium. I was gonna say this is actually like a little on the deeper side. So I think I'm gonna pull this out and try using this like brightening powder. I have actually been enjoying a brighter under eye again. I don't know, I'm reliving my like early 2000s. Leave me alone. It's gonna be back. If the 90s is in right now, the 2000s is coming around the corner. So I'm just gonna be ahead of the game. So we are gonna keep both of these. We only have a few more left. Are they all Hourglass? Yes, okay. All of my Hourglass. So let me see if I can put these in order. Let's see. I don't know if I'm gonna be very good at this. All right, I'm gonna see if I can do this in order. So this baby here, I believe, was the first ambient lighting palette as far as the blushes go. Boy, did I use it up? Because I had the powder one at one point, I thought. Like 3 of the face powders, maybe not. But anyway, this is 3 of the blushes. Very kick up dusted in the pan, but it's seen a lot of love. So this has Luminous Flush, Incandescent Electra, and Mood Exposure in it. This is one that I just have had for so long and I've loved it. I'm gonna keep it. It's my first one. I'm just gonna keep it. Honestly, I'm probably gonna keep all of these, but I'm gonna show you what I have here. I believe this was the next one. Was the Ambient Lighting Edit Unlocked next? I think so. I think so. So this one here has the finishing powder in Soft Light and Filtered Light, the bronzer in Bronze Light, blush in Nude Glow and Mood Flush, and then we have the metallic strobe powder in Champagne Strobe Light. I don't know if that was like washed out there for a minute, but pretty. The thing is, okay, here is it again. And I honestly, you will see as we get here into my collection, I eventually have, for the most part, stopped buying the palettes because again, I feel like there's always something. Like when I go to travel, unless it's a time where I don't think I'm gonna be very picky and I just wanna sort of like look put together, have a little bit of color, but if I have like a certain vision in my mind, these aren't what I wanna take because usually I'm like, oh, there's not a blush that's bright enough, or wow, that's a lot of glow. I maybe don't need everything to glow, you know? So it's sort of like, I just always find that I need a little bit more, unless it's just like a weekend away and I just don't really wanna think about it. But that's why I haven't really been doing a lot of these. I did get suckered into buying one last season. But anyway, I think that was the second one. So this one is the Ambient Lighting Edit Volume 4. So this kind of went back to the marble. You have the finishing powder in Dim Light and Diffused Light, the strobe powder in Euphoric Strobe Light, the bronzer in Filtered Bronze Light, and then the blush in Luminous Glow and strobe blush in Euphoric Fusion. Yeah, I've never actually even like really looked at like the details on the formulas in here. This is very beautiful. This one I would be more like, oh, we've got, you know, something that's like peachy corally. We've got something that's got a little bit of mauve to it. I do have a bronzer in here. I've got a finishing powder. It's a little bit light, but I could definitely like mix the two. So this one I could probably travel with on its own. It would probably be the one that I'd be most likely to take if I was only going to take one. But it's just, I just don't reach for these as much as I should. So while I'm not getting rid of any of them, I just know not to purchase a lot more. Okay, so this one I got, this is the Ambient Lighting Blush Quad in Ghost. And so this one is obviously just blushes. And I actually just pulled this one out recently because I saw it in here and I was like, I should do that. So we have a blush in Surreal Effect, 2 strobe blushes in Brilliant Nude and Lucid Glow, and then one more regular blush in Infinite Flush. So looking at these, Obviously, the strobe blushes have more of that like strobe powder in them, so they're like a higher glow quality. The thing about these is I feel like it's almost like, you know, when you get some multi-chrome eyeshadows or especially like iridescence and you have a vision of what it's going to look like on your face and then you swipe it on your skin and you're like, that's not what I thought. But at least with an eyeshadow, I can like put a little on my finger and go like this, and what it looks like on my finger is going to be what it looks like on my eyelid. It just looks so different in the pan. But these look so different in the pan, but because you really need to get a good swirl of product, I don't feel like what you end up with in a finger swatch is what it ends up looking like on the cheek. So it's almost like I don't really know what I'm gonna get out of it with some of these. Like, anybody else, like, does anybody else like put these on? You're like, oh, maybe that's not what I thought it was gonna look like. They're beautiful, but with this one, it just always leaves me guessing a little bit, especially because like I feel like each individual palette was so different depending on what type of marbled product you got, because I know sometimes they can vary quite a bit. At any rate, that one is the Ghost palette. Okay, the last one I got is the Tiger palette, and this of course was last year. The packaging, can we just say the packaging is gorgeous, and of course the product itself is gorgeous. And this one I did pick out for my end of summer Shop My Stash. I just wore this the other day and it was stunning. I used the bronzer and I used this blush. I used a little bit of this copper blush and it was gorgeous. So very lovely. These shades here, like this copper especially, I feel like this, very light-handed or just like a quick, easy eyeshadow, but I do need to get some more use out of this, which is why I pulled it out for my Shop My Stash. So that is it. That is it. Like I said, I knew I wasn't going to get rid of any of my Hourglass. I didn't think I was. Maybe with as like purging as I've been feeling today, maybe I was going to. If anything, I would maybe have gotten rid of this original one, and I'm kind of tempted. I'm a little tempted, but it's also like the smallest. It's also sort of what I know because I've had it for so long. I'm going to keep them all for right now, but I hope you enjoyed getting to see a little look inside of my Hourglass palette collection. I just need to use them more. I just need to use them more, but I do really think that the formulas are just so beautiful. And again, now that I have purged some of the other things that are maybe taking up space and like hiding all of the rest of my palettes, maybe now I will do so. So let me go tally up our percentage. I didn't even count when we started. So I will do that. I will let you know what we started with and what we ended up with. Be right back. Okay, hold on. I just found another duo. I'm going to count this one because it is a duo of two products. This is the Cover FX Monochromatic Blush Duo, and you of course have the matte and the shimmer. You know what I think I need to do right now is I need to put on the shimmer side of this because I just don't know how I feel about that. I'm going to actually just take a smaller brush. Bet you didn't expect to be seeing a try-on in this video. I just need to see because on my finger, the formula felt like a little thick and chunky. But on the cheek, it's really pretty. Isn't that interesting how that happens? Okay, I should probably even this out because here's what I'm thinking with this is I feel like this combination, I am going to be more likely to use. Now I'm really like putting it on. Whew, okay. Stop talking while applying. So this combination, I feel like I'm more likely to use than this one. This one's just a little darker, a little bit warmer. This one's a little lighter. Okay, I'm keeping this one and I'm gonna get rid of this one. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. While I'm doing it, I think I am actually also just gonna put a little bit of the matte powder over the top. I remember these were like all the rage and I got one totally after the fact in an Ulta sale and I'm like, didn't really need this, but it is really pretty. See, that to me is like absolutely enough pink flush. It's a lot. It's a lot. I gotta go shopping after this. I'm gonna look like I've been out in the heat, but that's fine. So, okay. So keeping this one and getting rid of this one, I have to recalculate now. I'll be right back. All right, lovelies, I'm so excited. I did better than I was thinking I was going to do. So I had 28 face palettes altogether. First of all, that's ridiculous. Now, granted, some of them are like blush duos. It's not like humongous face palettes. But out of those 28 face palettes, I'm going to pass 10 along, or, you know, some of the really old ones I will obviously just get rid of. And I'm keeping 18. 18 is still a lot. But like I said, some of these are like blush duos, you know, so I also just know, like I said, they are definitely, that's the end of the duos for me. That's going to be the end. Anything that has more than one pan and goes on my face, I just really need to like strongly think about whether it's something that I need to be bringing into my collection. All right, I think that's it. I'm sure literally after I edit this video and upload it, I'm going to find something in my collection that I should have considered, but I think I did a pretty good job. I tried to find everything for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know how you think I did down below. I'll be curious to know. Did I get rid of anything that is like a favorite of yours, or am I keeping anything that you're like, Kelly, really just like get rid of it, like move on. Let go of the death grip. I would really love to know, because you know, we can all like cheer each other on in keeping life a bit more simple. Says the girl who has 18 face palettes. All right, lovelies. Thank you so much. If you did enjoy this video, it would really help me out if you clicked like before you head out. Of course, I will have my declutter playlist linked down below if you do want to see more from my crazy, ridiculous makeup hoard. Please enter the judgment-free zone if you do decide to click on that playlist, and I will see you really soon.